So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I bring to you everything that happened in today's visit of President Wadagni of Benin to Burkina Faso and to Niger Republic. But before then, President Wadagni visited Lagos, Nigeria, where he met the president, and they had discussion on trade, economy, bilateral talks when it comes to their security cooperation. And ladies and gentlemen, it was a very, very fantastic visit. Here's the video, ladies and gentlemen. But this visitation to Nigeria is coming after multiple joint maneuvers by the Benin forces and the Nigerian forces on the line of contact. We have a situation in Nigeria where sometimes it's the Benin forces drifting into the Nigerian territory to take care of business, and sometimes is the Nigerian forces drifting into the Benin territory to take care of business, like what we have here. According to the report we got, the Nigerian military personnel got into Benin to take care of an urgent situation, and they handled the situation nicely. It was an intense exchange between the JNIM and the Nigerian army, and after an intense exchange of bells, ladies and gentlemen, the Nigerian armed forces prevailed over the JNIM, critically brutalizing the JNIM from pillar to pole. And guess what? The Benin people were so happy with the performance of the Nigerian forces. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the video here.
Oh boy, see Benin people, see the way that they do so here for Nigeria. See that? Oh boy, see Benin people. Much love for Nigeria army, all the way from Nigeria army to Benin, Benin Republic. See there, they don't they run, see. They do prayer for Nigeria army. See, they do prayer, oh boy, that is one thing, oh boy, no worry, oh boy, you will not die in pain, as they show us now, you will not die
only means that President Wadagni understands the tricks of the trade. He knows what he's supposed to do, and most especially is the level of humility from this great and very intelligent president. This only means that President Wadagni is not just a president but a shrewd operator for that matter. After this situation, President Wadagni also paid a visit to Niger Republic, and this visit to Niger Republic was one of a kind. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the video.
The historic meeting of the Beninese and Nigerian people is a significant gathering that takes place right here in the heart of the country. We must remember that we are all brothers and sisters, united as Beninese and Nigerians. We share a common bond as Beninese and Nigerians. Therefore, we will welcome every one of them with the great warmth, respect and dignity that they truly deserve during their stay. There is a cultural similarity in many cases between Benin and Niger, and this is particularly true in the north. Benin, as you well know, this is clear proof that we are a single unified people, a people destined to live together in harmony. And you have seen that on both sides of the shared border, there is a certain deep-rooted cultural and social similarity, and also in traditional practices.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you. Thank you for all these clarifications. I would like to remind you that the plane of the Beninese President Wadagni has just landed right now. While we wait for the plane to open, we are of course awaiting the arrival of the President of the Republic, Head of State, General Abdurrahman Chani, who will personally welcome him. He is accompanied by Prime Minister Ali Mohamed Lamine Zen. The atmosphere is lively. This is a historic moment.
He has just arrived with his large delegation. The large delegation present is being welcomed by the President of the Republic, Head of State, General Abdurrahman Chani, who has personally come to the airport, accompanied by the Prime Minister, who is also present, Ali Mohamed Lamine Zen, the Minister of State and Minister of National Defense, General Salifu Modi, and the Minister of the Interior, Public Security and Territorial Administration, Major General Tumba Mohammed, as well as other members of the CNSP, members of the government, regional authorities, officials from the Niamey City Administration, and also the large Beninese community in Niger who have gathered at the airport. We will continue to follow the developments live from Diori Hamani International Airport.
And is it both the Hanuk of the goal, the Maria of the company? Has there been a turning point? I'm thinking about that. It's not the date. Yes, exactly, considering the kingdom.
So we are still at Diori Hamani International Airport with our reporters, with the teams here for us, and the setting is comfortable. And then we don't have it because you keep commenting. So this is the arrival of the Beninese president, who will be personally welcomed by the President of the Republic, Head of State. The Army General at Bramante, in Nick and on site, along with the other members of the CNSP, as well as other members of the government, have come officially and solemnly to welcome the new Beninese president, who is here in Niamey. You are now seeing a live image from Diori Hamani International Airport in Niamey, with the President of the Republic, Head of State, reviewing the troops, receiving honors, the flag, and preparing to welcome his guests on the airport tarmac. International Diori Hamani in Niamey. So this is the official visit, the state visit of the new president, who is now disembarking from the plane.
From Benin, Wadagni, welcomed by the President of the Republic, Head of State, General Abdurrahman Chani. At his side are the Governor of the Niamey region and, of course, the Delegated Administrator of the city of Niamey as well. A very warm and friendly handshake, just like the one you see right here in front of you. You are following us live on the Niger Radio Television, RTN channels. A grand reception has been prepared for the President of the Republic of Benin, Wadagni. The atmosphere is lively. The two presidents are still standing right by the side of the plane. The warm greetings continue, along with the formal introductions, and of course that constant friendly smile on the President's lips. We are now just about to observe the official military honors. In just a few moments. the two national anthems.
Joint statement. At the formal invitation of His Excellency General Abdurrahmane Chiani, the President of the Republic of Niger and Head of State, His Excellency Romuald Wadagni, the President of the Republic of Benin and Head of State, paid a significant official visit to the city of Niamey on the 2nd day of June in the year 2026. His Excellency Romuald Wadagni, President of the Republic of Benin and Head of State, was warmly welcomed by His Excellency General Abdurrahmane Chiani, President of the Republic of Niger, Head of State, in a spirit of brotherhood that characterizes the long-standing and special relations between the peoples of the two countries. This official diplomatic visit to Niger is part of the long-standing tradition of exchange and consultation between neighboring sovereign states in the region. It clearly demonstrates the deeply held and mutual commitment to further strengthen the enduring bonds of friendship, fraternal brotherhood, and active cooperation that unite the nations of Benin and Niger. The two presidents held a one-on-one meeting, followed by a working session expanded to include members of both delegations on several topics of common interest. The discussions took place in an atmosphere of great cordiality and allowed for an in-depth examination of the challenges facing both countries, as well as major issues currently in the news at the sub-regional and international levels. The two presidents expressed their satisfaction with the long-standing relations of brotherhood, friendship, and cooperation that unite Niger and Benin, and reaffirmed their shared determination to invigorate bilateral cooperation, raising it to the level of their ambitions and the legitimate expectations of their respective peoples who aspire to peace, security, and development. On the security front, the two presidents discussed the terrorist threat in the Sahel and West Africa. They reaffirmed their commitment to join forces to combat the scourge of terrorism and banditry that has plagued the sub-region for several years and undermines the effective implementation of all development programs initiated by their governments. The two presidents expressed their conviction of the need to strengthen cooperation between the two countries in political, economic, scientific, and cultural fields, and agreed to increase mutual exchanges at all levels, notably through the regular convening of the Niger-Benin Joint Cooperation Commission. They expressed their commitment to work towards removing all obstacles to strengthening cooperation between the two countries, notably the ARIOP, the reopening of the Benin-Niger border. A committee of experts tasked with identifying and removing these obstacles has been established for this purpose. It has a period of 15 days to submit its report to the two heads of state. His Excellency General Abdurrahmane Chiani, President of the Republic and Head of State, expressed his sincere thanks to his brother and counterpart from Benin for his visit to Niger. His Excellency Romuald Wadagni, President of the Republic of Benin and Head of State, expressed his sincere thanks to his brother and counterpart from Niger for the warm and fraternal welcome extended to him and his delegation. His Excellency Romuald Wadagni, President of the Republic of Benin, invited His Excellency General Abdurrahmane Chiani, President of the Republic of Niger and Head of State, to pay an official visit to Benin. This invitation was gratefully accepted, and the date will be set through diplomatic channels. Done at Niamey on June 2nd, 2026. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, what we are seeing in West Africa currently is one man who has stood beyond all odds to make sure that he serves the interest of the entire West Africa. What President Romuald Wadagni is doing right now is what the African Union and ECOWAS have not been able to achieve in a long time. Well, President Romuald Wadagni right there. And, you know, I want everybody to understand that for the Alliance of Sahel State leaders to accept the president in this way. They've done their homework, and they can tell you categorically that based on their own geopolitical calculus, President Wadagni is a very, very good person. But we'll continue to monitor the situation. President President Wadagni did not stop in Niger Republic. He also paid a visit to the presidential palace in Burkina Faso, where they had serious talks about bilateral relationship, regional security. So now we have a situation in West Africa where Benin Republic, is now going to form a strong security collaboration with Burkina Faso, Niger, and Nigeria, together with Benin. And on the western flank of Benin, you have Togo. If you look at what President Wadagni is trying to do right now, is President Wadagni is trying to build the foundation for a robust economic development. Now, guess what? President Wadagni is a shrewd economic operator, and this means that he knows that when the security is not right, economy cannot flow, the right way. And President Wadagni is doing what it takes to put Benin back where it belongs, among the best of the best in West Africa.
Press release. Friendly and working visit of His Excellency Mr. Romuald Wadagni, President of the Republic of Benin, to Burkina Faso. On June 2nd, 2026, His Excellency Mr. Romuald Wadagni, President of the Republic of Benin, made a friendly and working visit to Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, with the aim of giving new momentum to the long-standing relations that unite the peoples of Benin and Burkina Faso. Upon his arrival at Ouagadougou International Airport, President Romuald Wadagni and his delegation were welcomed by Comrade Captain Ibrahim Traoré, President of Faso, accompanied by members of the government and heads of institutions, as well as representatives of the established bodies. In line with the shared desire of the two heads of state to strengthen the historic ties of friendship, brotherhood, and cooperation that unite Burkina Faso and the Republic of Benin, this visit allowed the two distinguished leaders to conduct an in-depth review of bilateral relations as well as the main issues of sub-regional, African, and international interest. On the bilateral level, the two presidents reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening political dialogue and deepening cooperation between their countries. They emphasized the need to build a renewed partnership based on trust, mutual respect, solidarity, and the pursuit of joint solutions to common challenges. To this end, and addressing the security situation in the sub-region, the two heads of state emphasized the urgent need to strengthen cooperation, solidarity, and consultation among neighboring states in the face of common threats, particularly terrorism, organized cross-border crime, and all forms of violent extremism. They reaffirmed their determination to work together for peace, stability, and sustainable development in the West African region. The two heads of state also exchanged views on the main challenges facing the African continent and the international community. In particular, they discussed the situations in the Sahel region and the Great Lakes area and reaffirmed their commitment to the peaceful settlement of disputes as well as to dialogue and diplomacy as preferred means of resolving crises. On economic matters, the two heads of state welcomed the potential and promising prospects for cooperation in the fields of trade, industry, crafts, technical and vocational training, transport infrastructure, logistics, transit, as well as the promotion of investments. They agreed to further encourage economic exchanges and cross-investments for the benefit of economic operators and the populations of both countries. Recognizing the strategic role of the autonomous port of Cotonou in supplying Burkina Faso and the importance of smooth transport corridors for the economies of both countries, the two leaders affirmed their commitment to strengthening cooperation in the facilitation of transit, transport, and logistics. In order to inject new momentum into the bilateral partnership, the two heads of state instructed their ministers of foreign affairs to take the necessary steps to ensure that the fifth session of the Burkina Faso-Benin Joint Grand Commission for Cooperation is held as soon as possible. They also encouraged the acceleration of the finalization of pending draft agreements in order to strengthen the legal framework for cooperation between the two states. The two heads of state expressed their satisfaction with the living conditions, hospitality, and integration enjoyed by Burkinabe nationals living in Benin and Beninese nationals residing in Burkina Faso. They encouraged their respective communities to continue maintaining exemplary relations of brotherhood, peaceful coexistence, and solidarity. The two presidents praised the quality of the historical ties that unite the peoples of Burkina Faso and Benin, as well as the family and historical bonds that further strengthen the closeness between the two nations. They reaffirmed their determination to make this human closeness an additional lever for cooperation and integration. At the end of his visit, His Excellency, Mr. Romuald Wadagni, expressed his deep gratitude to Comrade Captain Ibrahim Traoré, to the government, and to the people of Burkina Faso for the fraternal, warm welcome and hospitality extended to him and to the delegation accompanying him. Comrade Captain Ibrahim Traoré took the opportunity to once again extend his heartfelt congratulations to his Beninese counterpart for his brilliant election as head of the Beninese nation, along with his sincerest wishes for success during his term in office. His Excellency Mr. Romuald Wadagni invited Comrade Captain Ibrahim Traoré to pay an official visit to the Republic of Benin. The President of Faso gladly accepted this invitation. The arrangements and dates for the visit will be determined by mutual agreement through diplomatic channels. The two heads of state expressed their conviction that today's visit will mark an important milestone in reviving and strengthening the partnership between Burkina Faso and the Republic of Benin in the service of shared prosperity, regional stability, African integration, and the well-being of their peoples. Done in Ouagadougou, June 2nd, 2026.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you can kindly give us what you think in the comments. It's your boy 72 Android signing out in said. But before I go, we have a fresh news from Senegal, a press conference that was given by President Ousmane Sonko, and we are currently working on the video just to make sure that we convert it from French to English. Then we are going to be dishing the video out tomorrow. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take this time to thank Mr. Nelson, Bad Design. I want to thank Ignatius Moore, Flavor Blade, Greenleaf, a lot of people in the Android community, those that I can't remember right now and those that I cannot remember. You all are the ones that sponsor what we do here. We don't get sponsored by anybody. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to appreciate you all for your contribution, for your likes, for your share, for your time. You know, it's really a phenomenal journey. And for now, I want to give you my take. I think President Romuald Wadagni of Benin, as I speak to you, is the truth. You know, you might not believe me, but I know what I'm doing, all right? But I can tell you right now that, you know, based on my opinion, with what President Romuald Wadagni has done, President Romuald Wadagni is the truth, because I've been studying some events in the last 48 hours. Narrative is shifting, things are changing, and so far so good. President Romuald Wadagni have been able to reshaping a lot of things that can be said and things that are better left untold. So, ladies and gentlemen, we also have a situation developing in Kidal where the Malian armed forces were able to discover an hideout where the FLAs kept everything they stole in Kidal just to carefully manage the supplies they have in a situation where nothing is getting into Kidal to sustain them. So they stole everything they can from civilian buildings, and this is where they kept everything they stole. But the Malians made sure that they sent the blessing to the FLA fighters. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the result as the building completely got sabotage. Ladies and gentlemen, the de-radicalization operation continues in Mali as the Malian armed forces is advancing on every front as they continue to chase the reconquest of their territory from the Western machineries. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy 72 Android signing out in said. But before I go, we'll see you tomorrow with the next report.